Man, has this been a journey this morning. Well, finally, maybe we can talk some football after I get a few settings here done. As you guys trickle in, I'll try to get here the chat going so I can see what you guys are saying. And I apologize for the delay today with all the technical difficulties, but I was trying to stream this using the laptop. This is probably my third time trying to do it through the laptop, and guess what? The old faithful, we're already getting some roll ties in here. The old faithful phone happens to be the best
we're already
option.
getting some roll ties in here.
Oh boy,
The old faithful.
let's take that out. All right, so again, apologize that it took this long to get this set up. But we'll see. We'll learn, and hopefully we can get this better set up next time. So Billy, welcome to the live. You're the first one. Actually, the first one was Doug and Donald and Steph. But it took so long to go live that they might come back later, perhaps. So, all right. Now I don't know which is streaming. Is it streaming from the? I think it's streaming from there. I'll see you guys here in the computer. Decatur, Alabama. Well, Billy, guess what? I used to live in Gunnersville, Alabama. I'm sure you're familiar with Gunnersville, just a little south of you. I lived there for 10 years and had to endure my Gators losing to Alabama for those 10 years. So maybe today might be different. We'll see. I'm going to give you guys my predictions soon here when we get started. There's Paul. Paul, we're finally at a good time for you. What's the time there in London? I'm sure it's much better than our normal lives. Yeah, I lived right there on the lake and did very little fishing. But my dad did some fishing. He actually fished way more than me. Well, there's the lovely Lady Fire. Thanks for coming along. Yeah, 2:48 p.m. Much better than when you have to be there at midnight. And there is Steph. Thank you, Steph and Donald. Flat Gator, Roll Tide. And barely not Bob. Morning, everyone. So today, as you see, we were going to go over some of the games. I got to get credit to the contribution by my son. His name is also Rafael, and he is an encyclopedia of football. So he's actually the one that helped me put this together so that we can get some good predictions and talk about some of the games. And after we go over these 6 games, we will do some honorable mentions of other games going on tonight. But if you have a favorite team, shout it out. I want to know what's your favorite team and see, if they're playing today and what are the chances of winning. So you can go ahead and let us know what is your college team there. Who else is online here? We have Sharon and we have Sharon. You're there with Paul, right? You're the dynamic duo there with Paul, if I'm not mistaken. It says, Donald says, UAB will be mounting lion pelts. Well, that's one of the games. That's one of the exciting games tonight at 7:30, Auburn versus Penn State. So I decided that I was going to smoke this morning out of my near pipe, my favorite pipe given to me by my lovely wife. And I was going to have early morning pipe. Well, why not? It's Saturday morning, so why not have some early morning pipe, which has come to be one of my favorites. TPI Mark is gonna send me some aged early morning pipe that he has when it was downhill, and I'm really looking forward to smoking that and seeing what the difference is for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna light this up while you guys keep coming in. I'm looking forward to the Auburn Penn State. I think that's going to be one of the most exciting games. Oh, Donald, you're a Wolverines fan. Michigan. All right. Well, you guys still down there at the bottom of the polls, but you can quickly climb up by winning. And Paul says he doesn't have a clue about college football. Well, that's okay. That's all right. I didn't have a clue about football at all many years ago, and I hated that it was on every channel on TV on the weekends until I actually, of course, started watching it and learning about the rules, and now I love it. Now it's one of my favorite things to watch. So we get started here with some early morning pipe. Are you any of you smoking early? If you are, let me know what you started the morning with. I already have my coffee and everything. There's Hobbiton Piper. Oh, there you go. He's a Razorback fan. You had a good win versus Texas, so will you build up on that win to this week? We'll have to see. I'm rooting for you guys. Definitely want that SEC West to be a little tougher for Alabama. They usually cruise by, so it's about time they get some tough competition. And we have Matthew, another roll tide. Oh, Lord. We have 2 roll tides in the house. All right. So let's start with the first one. In a couple of hours, we'll have Nebraska and Oklahoma. Hope you guys can see the board good there. Nebraska, they had the coach that was undefeated with UCF, University of Central Florida, and he went to Nebraska because he used to be a quarterback there, and ever since he's been there, Nebraska has been a disaster. Not that they weren't a disaster before, but they haven't had much winning season. So here they go. They have a chance to do something today, playing Oklahoma, who hasn't lost yet. Sooners. So Berlin up, Bob, is that your team? The Sooners. So Nebraska has the quarterback Martinez. The Sooners has Spencer Rattler. Now, the Sooners just came off a tough win versus Tulane, which is not even ranked. So the question here was, Tulane a fluke? Was that just, they having a bad day? Or are they actually vulnerable? If they were, that bad with Tulane, is Nebraska going to take advantage of that and create a big upset? What do you guys think? Is Oklahoma's defense good enough to mount something against Nebraska today? Or, will Nebraska surprise us and beat Oklahoma? Well, I'll tell you what I think. After much research, I'm picking for this game, my first pick of the day is going to be Oklahoma. I think Nebraska still doesn't have it, so I'm picking Oklahoma, and they're going to win big. I think they're going to win 48-49, actually. This whiteboard kind of moves a little bit on me, so let's see if I can figure it out how to write on this thing. 49-28 is our prediction for the Nebraska-Oklahoma game. Oklahoma wins big on this one. And Matthew agrees. Let's say Notre Dame for the win, Donald's saying on the next end. We'll get to that one. So after that, still at 12. All these times are Eastern times. We're going to have Cincinnati versus Indiana. Now, Cincinnati always comes up short. They always start the season strong. Sometimes they stay undefeated for a while, and then they just lose and mess up their chances. So here they are. They're gonna play Indiana. It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be in Indiana. Is Indiana that 2020 team that was really good, or are they just a completely different team? If they're that 2020 team, they will have a good chance to beat Cincinnati for sure. And Cincinnati, they're way up there, number 8. This is their chance to, stay undefeated for a little while, stay into those top 10 teams, and perhaps even move up with if there's some upsets later on. So who do you guys like, Cincinnati or Indiana? Any Cincinnati fans or Indiana fans? Yeah, I agree, Matthew. Indiana is way better than they get credit for. And again, that 2020 team was actually a great team. They just came up short. There you go. Steph says Razorback and says she doesn't know anything about college ball, but it doesn't matter actually. In college football, anybody can win, really. Bearcats, but it'll be a fight, says Donald. And Steph says she will bet on my mom. Good. Well, it's going to be a close one, folks. It's going to be a close one. I agree. The Cincinnati needs to be dominant to have even a chance to deal with the Big 12. But they're going to win today. They're going to pull it off. It's going to be a close one. We're predicting 31-27. Very close game. And Bears pull it off at the end. All right. Matthew says Indiana. All right. Well, it's going to be close. I think that's going to be a good one. And Mr. Beach's Roll Tide. You're still in Alabama. They're getting to you there, Mr. Beach. You hear the Roll Tide everywhere. I know I did for 10 years. We should bet on a team, and lower has to smoke Captain Black. I'm guessing Captain Black grape, right? All right. So, switching to Skip account. Also, this might not be Steph. This might be Skip then talking. All right. Yeah, are you actually rooting for Roll Tide there, Mr. Beach, or are you just saying that because you live there now and the mob might get you? Yeah, great. That's right. Hello, Boris. Nice to join us. This should be a better time for you for sure. Oh, yes. So Skip might get in here a little bit and tell us something of what he knows for sure. Matthew says grape is good stuff. Well, guess what? I haven't tried it. I haven't tried that Captain Black grape. People say it's so terrible, and that after you put it in your pipe, you pretty much have to throw it away. So I said, I'm not gonna try, but hey, if I may try it, I may just put on a corn cob pipe that way to be safe, just in case, and I may end up loving it. Who knows? Everybody's different, but yeah, that'd be nice. Maybe if Bama guitar dude gets here, I'll make a bet with him on the Alabama and Florida game, and the loser has to smoke something nasty like that. All right. Just to steer the pot, Rusty's here. Well, you can steer the pot for sure. He says Bama will crush the Gators. Very likely. We'll see. I'm about to make that prediction in a little while. So at 2:30 we have Purdue and Notre Dame. Now this is a chance for an upset. They're both undefeated. Purdue likes to kill the Giants. They have done so in the past. So do they have a chance to beat Notre Dame? What's your guys' opinion? Any Notre Dame or Purdue fans here? Hello, Eden. Nice of you to join us. This is a better time for you. And I know that maybe you like or don't like American football, but that's what we're talking about, is college football. Says Notre Dame for the win, but the Boilermakers will keep it close. Well, Donald, I thought you would root for the Boilermakers. Just knowing that you have something to do with the Boilers, right? I thought you would root for the underdogs on this one. Definitely Notre Dame. And Matthew says Notre Dame big. All right. And one of my sons here is on the live cover jukebox. Hello, son, and welcome to the chat. I finally recognize your name there. I think you've been here before, and I always miss you. So this time I paid attention. I'm sure you guys are ready for the Alabama Gator game there in Gainesville, Florida. So, what's going to happen here with Purdue and Notre Dame? Well, we got Plummer for quarterback for Purdue. We have Jack Cohn for Notre Dame. Now, is Purdue a Big Ten West contender? You know, we have there, they have an injury of the running back. I think his name is Howard. So how is that going to impact them? Not having maybe that person against, a tough team like Notre Dame. So that's a key factor there. Am I going to the Gator game? Nope. I went to the first game, and this one, I decided to sit it out and watch it from home. It's actually sold out about, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago. So it's definitely a game that should be very exciting, and I'm sure everybody there in town is exciting to watch. All right, and so Notre Dame has struggled on defense, guys. I don't know if you've seen any of their games, but they've been squeaking by. They've been actually winning, barely winning, and this is a team that should be dominating some of those unranked teams, and they haven't. So guess what? For this one, it's gonna be my first upset. I'm picking Purdue to win this one. Purdue is gonna surprise everybody, beat that Notre Dame team. It's gonna be a close one. It's gonna be exciting, and we're predicting 34-31. Do you guys see those scores there? Let me know if you don't. Can you see what I'm writing in green? If not, I'll write it in black or something that you guys can see. Let me know. Tell me. Let's see. If you guys don't see it, just let me know either way, and I'll start using another color. Yeah, you can see the scores. Okay, good. All right. So moving on to the game. I think there's gonna be two definitely games of the day today. Is gonna be this Alabama-Florida game and this Auburn-Penn State. We have Amir says Florida sucks. Well, sometimes they do, and you're right. Black will be easier to see. Well, let's see. How about we put a little bit of gray here just for the prediction of the. I didn't want to get confused with some of the other colors, so let's see. There you go. 31-27 for that one. 34-31 for that one. And 49-28 for that one. All right. So Alabama and Florida. Woo! Aiden says definitely Alabama. Well, they're the number one team. Matthew is doing Roll Tide again. And easier to see now. Okay, perfect. So what do we have here? Alabama has Bryce Young. And they had that game there with Miami. Now, was Miami just bad that Alabama was able to beat him so easy, or is Alabama not that good this year? I think that's one of the big questions we have for this game. You see, Aiden is already learning. Alabama speed bumps looks like Gators but flat. So now they're playing in the swamp. What they call that's the Gator place. They're playing at the Gator. Would that rattle them today? Can the Gators run versus the Alabama defense? That is tough to run against Alabama. If they're able to run against that could make a big difference. So Florida has a problem here. They have two quarterbacks, and we have Emory Jones, who is not very good at reading the defense. He actually just looks at has his play in his mind and the routes, and he's throwing to the routes, but not reading the defense. So the last 2 games, he's had 4 interceptions. That's not good when you play Alabama. And then we have Richardson. He's the backup quarterback, and every time they put him, he scores. He either runs for a touchdown or he passes for a touchdown. Now, even though he's done that, Emory Jones is still the starting quarterback, and Richardson hurt his hamstring in the last game. So this is what I predict. If the Gators can run the ball, if somehow Emory Jones does not play or gets taken out, and Richardson is in the game and he's healthy and his hamstring is not hurting him, and we get Richardson there early, the Gators can win this game. Now, this is the reality. The reality is that Alabama is a really, really, really good team. They're a really good team, and I predict that Emory Jones is going to stay in the game. He's going to throw interceptions, and it's going to be a little too late for the Gators to make a comeback here. The longer Emory Jones stays in the game, the more Alabama is gonna give us 3-and-outs or interceptions. Our defense is gonna get super tired, and it's just gonna be a very frustrating game, unfortunately. So, what do you guys think before I give my prediction? Alabama or Florida? I gave you a little bit of the insights, and I say Kevin is leaving. Goodbye, Kevin. Hobbiton Piper, thanks for being a little bit here. Saban, yeah, he's a very good coach. That's definitely the main reason why Alabama wins. Atina Tobacco on the game. Okay. All right, Matthew, we have a friendly wager. Atina Tobacco on the game. I'm gonna, regardless of my prediction, of course, if the Gators win, I have to send you a tin of tobacco, and if Alabama wins, well, no, if the Gators win, you send me a tin. If the Alabama wins, I send you a tin. There you go. All right, says God Gifted Genius, Cincinnati, Bama, 3-pick parlay. All right. So here we go. So I am picking here. Here goes with my pick. Even though I'm a Florida fan, even though I graduated from the University of Florida, I have to be honest and say that most likely Alabama will be the winner in this game. I'm predicting 35-20. That's my prediction. Of course, I hope my prediction doesn't come true, but based on the facts, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. And it's going to be a very frustrating game for me to watch. 35-20. So I'm sure that makes Matthew happy and Mr. Beach and some of the Bama fans. Yeah, for sure, if the Gators win, I'm probably going to run around the house screaming happy. So God Gifted Genius says Bama by 4.5, and I think that's actually was on the betting for in Vegas. They actually a 2-touchdown favorite. Tim Tebow made a bet with I forgot his name, Smith, I think is his last name, one of those commentators. And if the Gators win, he has to wear a Gator tie. So there's all kinds of bets going on. Boris says Bama 48-21. Yeah, that could happen, Boris. That's not a bad prediction. Rusty says have faith. Well, I have to be realistic. Of course, I'm going to be rooting for the Gators, right? But I'm trying to give you guys here a realistic outcome of what we think is going to happen. All right, moving on. We're praying for the Gators to win. So then, after this game, which will be frustrating, or I'll be so happy that you guys won't be able to stand the happiness that I will have. There's a 7:30 game that will either calm me down or just continue with the exuberation here, and it's Auburn versus Penn State. Now, I think this is going to be one of the most exciting games of the day. Penn State is going to do the all white out. That means that everybody in the stands wears whites and has white pom poms, and the whole stadium, which is pretty amazing, is white. So you guys have to check that out. I think that game is on. I think I wrote it somewhere where they're going to show the game. I think it's gonna be on ABC. ABC. That game will be on ABC. Definitely a game to watch if you guys, whether you like football or not, just to see that kind of atmosphere that they do in Penn State. So that could be a factor. That could be a big factor. We have Bo Nix as the quarterback for Auburn. Is that all whiteout gonna rattle him and make him lose his concentration or throw bad passes? And Penn State has quarterback Clifford there. Now, is Penn State good enough their offense good enough to deal with an SEC defense? Some teams, when they play out of their division and play an SEC team, find that, it's a different ball game there. So can they handle that? Well, we'll have to see. What are you guys' predictions? Penn State on Auburn. We have number 22, number 10. They're both undefeated, and they're both pretty good team. Actually, Auburn has been demolishing teams, scoring 50, 60 points in a game. So can they do that against a Penn State? Let's see what we have here on the chat. While I really like my pipe, we have Timothy saying that that OSU is gonna Ohio State over Tulsa 31-30. Woo! Well, that would be a pretty definitely a close score there. Ohio State is supposed to demolish this team after they just lost. They need some vengeance because they were not supposed to lose last week. But Tulsa is a pretty good team. At least we can all agree that SEC East is the strongest conference. You probably mean SEC West. Isn't that the Alabama Conference, the SEC West? Rusty's picking Auburn because they like the game. Well, their cry is War Eagle. That's what they say, the Auburn fans. So it's a pretty cool war cry. Donald says it's probably going to go overtime. Skip is picking Auburn. Matthew's hoping that Penn State wins, but they think Auburn might win. All right. Boris is going to try to find the game on YouTube. Definitely see the game, guys. I think this is going to need kind of see what they do in that stadium and make it all white for sure. And Duval says, go Gators. All right. Well, there's some hopefuls here, just like me. War Eagle it is for Rusty. All right. So this is my prediction. Actually, our prediction is going to be a tight game. I think all the fans and all that are gonna be a little bit tough for Auburn. Of course, they can always pull the upset and just throw this ball and just create a big back and forth game. But most likely, Penn State is gonna come out with this win. So I'm picking Penn State. Not that I want them to win, just based on what I see so far. Auburn has not played very good competition, so we're picking Penn State, 24-16. Close game, and they sometimes find a way to win tonight. Definitely watch the game, guys. I think this is going to be a good one. And I hope I'm way off and it actually ends up being 50-40 something, a really high scoring game and lots of fun. All right. Yeah, so West is Arkansas, Alabama. Yeah, so that's what I thought. Matthew said the East, but I think, actually the toughest division, it is the West. Oh, yeah, Matthew said corrected. Okay, got it. Auburn, but closer than the bookie says. All right, so Matthew, you've been to the Penn State game. Great, that's awesome. I think that would be an amazing experience. I haven't experienced that, of course, but I would love to. I'll for sure watch it tonight, and I want to show it also to Lady Fire. So I don't think she's seen that where they just white out the whole stadium. I think it's pretty impressive and very unique. Yeah. All right. So Stonks is asking me about North Carolina and Virginia. Uh, that's coming at 7:30 also. North Carolina is number 21, and Virginia is not ranked. Well, North Carolina kind of feels the pressure. They need to get back into the ACC race. So I'm gonna pick them. I'm gonna pick them to pull it off and get back on this race. So that's my pick. What is your pick, Stunk? Who you think is gonna win, North Carolina or Virginia? Clemson lost, so they're the ACC. All the teams are, they're actually chomping at the bit because they see a chance this year maybe. You're picking Virginia. Well, Rusty's picking Virginia. Okay, and Skip is with me in North Carolina. I just think they feel the pressure, and they just need to make a move, especially because again Clemson is on the ropes. All right, moving on. So the late night games. I don't know. Most people see the games that are early on, and no one usually stays for these games. But let me tell you, these West Coast games are one of the most exciting games to watch. It's usually high scoring. I don't think anybody plays defense. They just throw the ball. And so if you ever have a chance to watch some of these games that come out at 10 o'clock at night, definitely see them because they're very, very, very enjoyable. So we have Arizona State at 19 versus a 23. I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be all kinds of back and forth. It may not be as high scoring as I wish it would be. But we have the quarterback Daniels for Arizona State, and we have Jay Hall for BYU. The colors are going to be really cool to see. It's going to be a nice contrast in colors there when you see them on the field. Now, Arizona State has a chance to, if they win this game and the next one that's not too tough, they have a chance to go 4-0 before they meet UCLA. So I think they have a lot of riding in this game for them for sure. And it's BYU. They have a dynamic offense. Can they do that against Arizona? That would be definitely a big telling point. And if they can do that, they're gonna definitely increase in the polls for sure. Who you guys got? Arizona State or BYU? This is the last game, one of the last games of the night today. Definitely excited. Watch those night games. There's another one I'm going to tell you about in a little bit. Yeah, Stonk says he respects anyone who stays up for Hawaii home games. All right, luck of this BYU money line. All right, so we got a lot of BYUs. BYU Matthew, BYU Boris, and BYU Skip. BYU at home running away. Easy win for the Mormons, Donald says. Well, I don't think it's going to be an easy win. That's the only thing I can tell you for sure. It won't be easy, but I am picking. We are picking BYU for the win on this one, but a lot closer than you guys think. I'm going to put 28-24, but it might be even higher scoring than that. And I hope it is. I like high scoring games. Think they're more fun to watch. But that's our pick there, BYU. All right. So let's go to some honorable mentions. I have some teams here. Someone already mentioned Virginia versus North Carolina. There's another good battle going on, and it's going to be South Carolina versus Georgia. Believe it or not, Georgia, of course, is number 2, and South Carolina is on rank. Is Georgia good? That good that they can, go against this SEC team, South Carolina, who's definitely wants to beat them bad and just blow them away. What do you guys think? Does Georgia have what it takes to just completely embarrass South Carolina? That game is at 7 p.m., so it's one of the prime games also going on. Any Georgia fans? Any South Carolina fans? Stone says Georgia defense is too good. Georgia by 3 touchdowns. Boris says Georgia wins. For you that came late, I'm smoking my Near pipe, gifted by my lovely wife, Lady Fire. And in it, I'm smoking early morning pipe. I thought it would be appropriate. Saturday morning, early morning pipe. And actually, it's becoming one of my favorites. So, Georgia wins. Go Dogs. Beat 'em up. Big Country Briar. Hello, how are you? We're making our picks. You've seen so far what we have picked. I even had to make a conscious decision and pick against my team. Georgia's playing South Carolina, Skip. South Carolina. Gamecocks. Oh, Stunk is picking South Carolina. Well, that would be a heck of an upset for sure. Samuel Gawath Kendall Cream in his 320. Have I tried Kendall Cream? I don't think I have. 320 is my wife's favorite pipe. She loves the 320s. Who is Georgia playing? Okay, so that was kind of saying who's that? Well, don't be surprised. I mean, South Carolina is not a bad team. It's not a bad team. Big Country says they suck. Well, they might look like that against a Georgia team who is definitely a tough team. I love watching upsets. Hey, Matthew, all right. You got to run. That's fine. We'll be stopped for sure. I have to stop pretty soon because I just started late. I was hoping to go from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So I'm going to stop probably in the next 10 minutes or so. I know Donald has to do his live, and then we have Steph and Skip. But thanks, Matthew, for being here. So Georgia, of course will love an upset, but realistically, I think Georgia is gonna pull it off, and they might even stomp South Carolina. So I'm picking Georgia for that one. All right, we have Tulane and Ole Miss. So Ole Miss is number 17. They've been looking good, but are they strong enough to beat a team like Alabama? This is a good game to watch against Tulane and see, what they got. And if they lose, that tells us that, forget it, they won't have a chance this year either. Donald says, no, that's okay, Donald. I'll give you, I want you to do your normal tailgating. I think we like your tailgating for sure. So I won't run until the hour. Like I said, maybe until about 10:30 or so, and then I'll stop. Ole Miss, Peric says, will win the game. Big Country says Rebels. I am with you guys. I think Ole Miss definitely is on a good momentum right now, and they should be Tulane. That game is at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Another late game, Fresno State versus UCLA. Again, just like I said before, those very late at night games are very exciting. This one should be super exciting and perhaps a shootout. I expect it to be high scoring. I expect it to be exciting. So who do you guys like? Fresno State versus UCLA. UCLA is number 13. We have Big Country. Sorry about that. Picking the Bruins. And I got a frog in my throat. Oh, Lord. UCLA all day. Boris picks UCLA. Big Country picks UCLA. Well, let me tell you, UCLA is looking great this year, so I'm going to go with UCLA too. And they're number 13. That's gonna make them climb up the ranks. Perhaps if we have some losses here, but I'm picking UCLA. And two more games. Next is New Mexico versus Texas A&M. That's an early game at 12. Texas A&M is number 7. Now, they're in the same division there with Alabama. So, they're in that tough West SEC, and they have a lot to prove. They're 2-0, just as is New Mexico, and they can just run the board and show that they're the best team in Texas right now, since the Longhorns are not doing very good at all. So Peric says A&M. Big Country says the Aggies. Of course, that's A&M. I think New Mexico is going to give them a way tougher game than what we think. But at the end of the day, Texas A&M should win. And perhaps towards the end of the game, I think they're going to just run off with it and make it look a lot like they really killed the team. Where at the beginning it might be kind of a closer game, but Texas A&M should beat them easily, I feel. Horns down, says Big Country Briar. All right. So, Georgia Tech versus Clemson, guys. Now, this Clemson is number 6, and they were I think they were number 2 just last week or something like that. This game is at 3:30, and of course, everybody will say Clemson should win this. Now, guys, don't pick him just yet. I don't know what the spread is, but if the spread is not too big, this might be a good game for the people that like to bet. Georgia Tech is gonna give him hell, and it's not gonna be that easy for Clemson. They are unsure about themselves. They came from a loss, and they either just turn it around and just destroy Georgia Tech, or they might be in for a surprise. Now, if Clemson loses, that opens up the ACC, and forget it. From that point on, it's gonna be a free for all there on the ACC. Tech is horrible, yeah. So we have the Texas, and then we have Texas Tech. So definitely A&M is the best of the Texas teams so far this year. So who you guys have? Clemson or Georgia Tech? Well, actually, he was talking about Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is horrible. Yeah, well, but you know what? When it comes to games like this, some teams, they just play a lot better. They would love to give another notch on Clemson's loss column this week. Now, who am I picking? Of course, I'm picking Clemson. I think that they hated that loss last week, and they're just going to come out guns blazing, and they might just completely demolish this Georgia Tech team early and not even give them a chance to do anything. All right, well, last on the list here I have is a team that not many people might know about that's really good, and that's Iowa. Iowa is number 5, and they just got through beating their nemesis Iowa State, and they play at 3:30 against Kent State. Now, hopefully they'll keep their momentum going. They're at number 5, but sometimes teams like that they don't even look at that game, and they're looking past the game, and that's dangerous. For a team like Kent State to kind of surprise them and give a big upset. Who you guys like, Hawkeyes or Kent State? I already have Big Country saying Hawkeyes. Tech is getting 28 points. That might be, it might be a good game to bet. You never know. Again, sometimes these teams that are not ranked, they have nothing to lose, and they take advantage of a team that's kind of a little frustrated. So I picked Clemson for that one. Iowa versus who? Definitely Iowa. Iowa versus Kent State. I am Donald says Iowa. Big Country says Iowa. Peric Piper Skip says Iowa. Boris says Iowa. Well, guess what? More than us will be surprised if Iowa doesn't actually run off with this game and completely destroys Kent State. They need to make a statement because they're number 5, If they don't, they're not gonna consider much in the rankings. So I'm picking Iowa. I'm picking Iowa to win and to win big, to kind of pretty much destroy Penn State. I agree with Boris. Iowa will crush Penn State. So guys, it's 10:30. Is there any other team that you guys are wondering about? Sorry, I started late. Definitely technical difficulties. I'm trying to do this through Streamlabs and do the laptop, so I have kind of a better camera angles instead of using my phone. Sometimes I get calls on the phone and then it just destroys the live. So, but at the end of the day, after trying for more than an hour and a half, I had to go back to my phone. But I'm glad I got the live done. I'm glad you guys participated. Um, you said you could see this room filling up. Well, we're gonna try it again. Hopefully next Saturday and every Saturday from now on. I'll let you know if, in case I go on vacation or something. There's gonna be a Saturday actually that for sure I won't do it. At least not here. I may do it from the hotel, and it's the Saturday, October 2nd. Let me let you guys know that we're gonna be at the Richmond Pipe Show. We'll be at that show, which is October 1st and 2nd. That's in a few weeks, and we will do a live. The first day, Friday, there's going to be a tour of the Sutliff facility. We're hoping we can record and bring that to you guys, and then October 2nd we'll be at the show where, like last time, we'll go through the vendors and the pipes and all that stuff. So definitely that Saturday, the 2nd. I may or may not do this. If I do, it might be a quickie in the morning. But if you guys love it, we'll do it. We'll keep doing it. See you guys next Saturday at 9 in the morning. And we'll talk some more football and we'll see. Now you guys can hold me through our prediction. Again, thank you to my son. He has the same name as me, Rafael. And he worked through this and we worked it together and kind of looked at all the variables so we could pick who the winners were. So big thank you to my son, Rafael. He is a football encyclopedia. Maybe one day he can come on here and you guys can pick his brain. He's definitely better than me. All right. So Donald will be live shortly after this. As soon as I go to Donald Hughes' channel. He's right there. You can see him on the chat. And then after that, we have Steph and Skip, who are coming on at 11 Eastern Time, 10 Central. So until next time, guys. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye, guys.